With the approaching release of the Beast Naga Boys, we should take some time to familiarize ourselves with the orc clan that best fits the theme of these wild and aggressive new orcs. No clan is as savage and primitive as the Snakebite clan, a clan that for ages has tempted orc players into kit-bashing orcs from the Age of Sigmar or the Fantasy line with the good old greenskins of 40K. With that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about the Snakebite clan. If you guys are new to the channel, we post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day, so if you guys have any suggestions or questions about the 40K universe in general, just ask down in the comment section below and I'll answer them in tomorrow's video. But with all that said, let's get into 40 Facts on the Snakebite clan. Considered backward by the more technologically minded tribes, Snakebites still follow the old ways. They scorn complicated matters like making their own guns or vehicles. The clan puts their faith in things that they can trust. A good bit of sharpened bone, a heavy stick, or a nice keen-edged choppa. In battle, they will dab themselves with mud and crude war paint, hanging the claws and teeth of beasts that they have killed around their necks, and wearing poorly cured skins. As a result of their rugged lifestyle, a snakebite's appearance is weather-beaten, and they are as tough as an old boot. They are experts in the field of breeding stock, and their grots and squigs are the most genuinely vicious and dangerous in all of orcdom. When a tribe of snakebites joins a wog, it brings with it a menagerie of these beasts. Their camp is complete chaos, with ravaging, snarling squigs and running, screaming grots. When other orcs are looking for an aggressive attack squig or an unusually fierce or obedient grot, they come to the snakebites. Squig baiting is also a specialty of the Snakebites, and when an orc is not fighting, he will often wander down to the clan's camp to watch a bunch of grots get thrown into a pit with a ravenous giant squig. But the most fearsome beast bred by the Snakebites has to be the mighty Squigoth. Huge, towering creatures capable of knocking over battle tanks and trampling entire platoons. These monsters are reared from a particularly ill-tempered young squig that will quickly progress from biting off fingers and hands to devouring careless grots and anything else that strays into their pens. However, a well-trained Squigoth will become almost completely loyal to its snakebite master, recognizing him by his distinct smell and reserving its rage for its master's enemy. The Snakebite's clan name and emblem comes from the rite of passage that involves a young aspirant goading an extremely poisonous serpent into biting them, then sucking out the venom to prove their toughness. This leads Snakebites to build up an immunity to venoms, and they usually bring poisonous serpents to each new world they invade in case the local wildlife proves disappointing. As far as Snakebites are concerned, snakes are the best pets. Obviously, the more aggressive, the better. The Snakebite run herders breed larger numbers of Gretchen than most other clans, who in times of war are given weapons and herded into battle, often manning artillery batteries. Ironically, the more sophisticated weapons that fall into the hands of the Snakebites usually find their way into the hands of their grots, as the runts of the tribe are left to figure out how they actually work. The orcs meanwhile gather into especially large mobs, whose lack of shooters is more than made up for in their assortment of heavy blunt objects. When the Snakebites launch an assault, it is with such shocking ferociousness that the enemy is buried under an avalanche of battle-crazed orcs, snapping squigs, and gun-wielding grots. Though they may be rather low-tech, the Snakebites are a deadly force. One of the most well-known and notorious snakebite tribes has to be the Wormkiller tribe, the Tyrannid killers basically. When Wogbork rampaged out of the Ghoul Stars and into the Eastern Fringe, the Wormkiller tribe came with them. Filled with alien trophies and covered in scars, this Snakebite tribe earned their name by killing Tyrannids. Runt herders tell tales of how the tribe went hunting through the jungles of some remote world when they came across a giant fleshy spore encased in glistening amber. Dragging it back to the orc fleet, they cracked it open, and hundreds of clawed serpentine Tyrannids spilled out. The Snakebites hunted the creatures down, taking great pleasure in the fact that they seemed to grow rapidly, and no sooner had you bashed one than another one appeared from a vent or a drain. Before long, the orc cruiser was infested, and most of the other orc tribes on board were killed. Only the Snakebite survived this weird Tyrannid jungle that had been created from their ship. By the time the infested cruiser drifted into a system, the Snakebites had finally killed most of the Tyrannids on board, having learnt the best way to crack them open and smash them up. Covered in Tyrannid trophies and using alien claws and talons as weapons, they joined up with the other orcs, calling themselves the Wormkiller tribe. Having had so much fun hunting the Tyrannids in space, the tribe had kept some alive and released them onto the first world they came to. While the rest of the orcs smashed the human inhabitants, the Wormkillers made sure that the Tyranids had time to multiply, so they would make good hunting. By By the time the orcs had torn apart the humans, they found themselves overrun by Tyranids, and gleefully turned their attention to this new foe. Since then, the worm killers have spread Tyranids to dozens of worlds so that they can have a good fight wherever they go. And that's the lore to the Snakebite clan. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.